Howdy y'all, Los here. Welcome to another episode of Bonsai-YEAH. Today we will witness another $50 bonsai challenge. I did not issue this one, no. Roland Lopez decided to challenge our friend Dashiell Collins to the $50 challenge. Dashiell, are you up to the challenge?
Los, sure am. I accept this challenge, and I'm going to where anybody can create this challenge.
Where?
Off to the big box store. Let's go and check it out. Oh, sweet. Los, I found it. I got it. Nah, just kidding. You can get these bonsai here at these places. They're honestly, if you can get a good one like this, not so bad. But this isn't gonna really work out for our challenge today. One challenge I've run into trying to make bonsai from a big box store is finding a good container. A lot of containers you'll see are either terracotta or plastic, or they're way too big and are more meant for like landscape plants. But if you come inside, you can maybe have a little more luck. You will see a lot of pots that have these built-in trays like this, but I think I found something here that's gonna work out for my purposes today. It's this big, large gray bowl planter. Nice and round, nice and deep, as you can see. It's got a pretty good drainage hole in it. It's got this interesting texture to it. I think repotting a plant in the middle of summer, not the best idea. So if I can put it in a big bowl and not disturb the roots too much, it should work out pretty well. And this comes in at $14.28. So I've got a little over 35 bucks left to work with to find my material. Okay, over here, pretty much what I was hoping to find, some more of these little Yaupon hollies, as well as some junipers. These are blue rug junipers. I had thought maybe I'd want to find one and make a cascade or some kind of windswept, but I have been acquiring a few more junipers lately, so I'm gonna change it up, and I'm gonna look for one of these dwarf Yaupon hollies and see if I can find one that's gonna make a good bonsai. So if we come in here, you can see most of these have pretty good trunks. You know, they're not extremely thick on their own, but with 2 or 3 of them, they become a few inches or an inch or 2 wide. And kind of looking from the top, they're nice and round. These are nice and healthy. They're growing pretty well. And so we got plenty to choose from. Lastly, I'm gonna get this bag of perlite. You're not gonna find bonsai soil at a big box store. But with some of this young material, usually just mixing in a fair amount of perlite with the soil that's gonna come off, we'll probably do a pretty good job for keeping it alive for a year or two. So for this challenge, you can get some perlite, mix it in with the soil that's in there, get a little more free draining and good for bonsai use. And that'll be it. So I think I'm pretty good here. Gonna go check out and see what the total is. So before tax came out to $38.23, not too bad. Hey y'all, Dashiell Collins here to do the $50 bonsai challenge from my friend Roland Lopez. Here's what I got from the big box store. Got my pot, got my material, got my soil, got my tools. Yeah, pretty excited to take this kind of shrub and turn it into a nice image of a beautiful spreading oak tree, pecan tree, all the kind of big, beautiful trees you see in the Texas Hill Country where I live. This tree has such good structure to it. I mean, it's got branching all over the place. If you kind of turn, you can see it's got tips growing out in every direction radially. Let's do this. What I'm gonna do to start is I'm gonna take it out of this pot and I'm just gonna start working on it in this big tub. It's gonna keep all of this dirt in one place because I'm gonna reuse it later. And it's not gonna make a mess all over your floor. what I'm gonna do here is just basic cleanup. I'm just gonna be a little bit reserved in my cutting, so I'm not gonna take anything today, just right down to the trunk and just chop it off. Just by doing a few little cuts, you can kind of see into this trunk a little more. I do have this big, weird little sacrificial branch coming out here. I'm tempted to leave just because it's right there at the bottom and it will help thicken it up. I could also cut it off because it's gonna, interfere with the overall design. I mean, I could maybe like force it into the soil and it could look like a little separate tree growing over here in the future. I don't know. Don't have to decide right now. Gonna leave it there. Now I'm just gonna go around the bottom branches, and again, cut anything off that's kind of dead or drooping, going straight down. So you can already see, hopefully, that I've kind of started to clear out just like a little bit of here, and you start to see branches instead of just leaves and kind of old little twigs. Gonna keep moving around, and I see some of these branches that are just like nicely already going down, and some that have gone down and then start to come back up, so they really give it that impression of an old tree that has started to lean its branches down and then starts to grow them back up. Actually really glad that Roland challenged me. When I joined the Austin Bonsai Society in 2020, Roland was kind of one of the first people I met, and then he's been the club president for the last year or so, doing a really awesome job. So I went ahead and raked out the roots. I didn't go too violently. I didn't cut too much off. And you can see I've still got this chunk of roots here that's virtually untouched. This is just the original edge of the pot. So I just got a lot of extra soil off. So how I'm gonna start to mix this up, just gonna get my perlite. So off camera, I did sift this perlite. So it doesn't have any of the fine dust, but you'll see for this 8-quart bag, kind of feels like the bags of chips you get. That's how much perlite that's usable for bonsai that you get out of this. So this bag is pretty full when you buy it. After you sift out all the dust and really tiny particles, you can use about that much. Put my bonsai in there for the time being. It'll be fine. Gonna bring back my big tub here. So for this pot, it came with this one main drainage hole in the middle. I also drilled these other ones here in case I wanted to wire the tree in, or in case it just needs some extra drainage. I think with the shape of this pot, I'm not too worried about bad drainage, but might as well. So these are the longest bits of used wire I could find, and I don't think when I wrap these under, going to be able to really tie it in. So I'm just going to try to do one, make these 2 bits of recycled wire into one. Just going to kind of twist these here and essentially kind of wire this through here. So I'm going to go, this is some wizardry I thought up. Trying this out, who knows what's gonna work, but hey, what can you do? So we can get that a little more even. Again, it really doesn't matter. So now I've kind of constructed this little bit of, turn this one short wire into one long enough wire. Probably could have undone this a little more, giving myself a little more space. So, all right, I'm gonna get some screens here on this. I've got these kind of big ones that I kind of reuse all the time. I'm not too fussed about it being super tight on there. And for these ones that I don't have Wires coming through. I'm gonna just put these plastic ones over here. They'll cover it up enough. Doesn't need to be anything wild and crazy. There's gonna be enough soil going down this. It'll keep everything in place. On the bottom, pour all over all that stuff. Make a little mound. Now I do have this fantastic blue frost resistant sticker on here just to make sure that here in the middle of Texas, this pot will be frost resistant. The grid may not be, but you know, it's okay. All right, so that's in there. Are these even gonna work? Maybe just a little bit. Just enough, let's see. So I'm not gonna tie it down yet. I am gonna try to get a little more soil out of here just to kind of give myself a little more room to smush these roots out. And then put in just a ton more of this soil all in these corners here because the root system really needs to spread out into all the soil here. But I think that's about as good a good height as I can get for the tree. Once I put some moss, it'll look like a nice, and maybe a rock or two, it'll look like a nice big oak on a little bit of a hill. There's even little bits of fertilizer still in here from the original soil, so that's awesome. Still gonna probably fertilize this in a month or two once it starts looking a little more healthy. Press that down a bit. I'm gonna try to line up my little zip tie front here to my frost resistant sticker just to give myself a little reference point. Oh, smush this guy in. Oh, it's gonna leave a lot of space for chopsticking in some soil. That'll be fun. All right, let's see if my little trick is gonna do the trick. Well, it'll be fine. It's not going anywhere. All right, so the rest of it, I'm gonna fill that up. Just fill it up with soil, put some moss on it. $38.23. That's what it took for me to complete this $50 bonsai challenge. Went to the big box store, got myself a pot, a tree, got some perlite, found some moss, got some rocks, put it all together. I'm loving it. It's got a long way to go in terms of like how much more I can grow it, let it get bigger, or keep it small if I want to. It's got so much potential, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thanks, Los and Bonsai-YEAH, and thank you, Roland, for challenging me. So who's next? I want to issue the $50 bonsai challenge to Little Jade Bonsai. You're up next, man. Let's do this.
And a great job from Dashiell here. Thank you for doing the $50 challenge. You did a wonderful job at a big box store, what I initially envisioned this challenge to be. So I hope that you can do something out there with $50. Let's see your bonsai. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, be cool, stay hip, get yourself a hobby. Bye.